You are watching or listening to the Good Morning Gwinnett Show, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, bringing you your daily dose of business and technology to educate, empower, and inspire small business owners. Be sure to subscribe to the show today.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all my friends around the world. It's a beautiful day here in Gwinnett County. It's about 70 degrees, going up to a high of 82, and that is beautiful. But anyway, I'm glad you guys are here with me today. This is special. This is special. Today is Thursday. I normally don't do interviews on Thursday, but one of the great women of the Gwinnett Women's Chamber of Commerce is my guest today. She's been my guest before. She's been on shows with me when we had other shows, and she's doing something absolutely amazing. And I got to tell y'all, what she's working on, I didn't even know was a problem. But she's a problem solver. So that's what she does. That's what all entrepreneurs do. When you are an entrepreneur, you are solving a problem. And if you're not solving a problem, you're going to be in trouble. But anyway, my guest today is Miss Ebony Caldwell. She is a member of the Gwinnett Women's Chamber of Commerce. She's also doing some amazing thing as an entrepreneur. Listen, her spirit is so high, y'all. Her laughter, her smile, everything about her. I love everything about her. And I say this to her all the time. And, you know, it's so crazy because when we launched the chamber, we launched the Gwinnett Women's Chamber of Commerce. We didn't know that we were going to meet so many amazing women, people in general, but a lot of amazing women. And here's the thing, I call some of them my friend, which is really cool because you can't call everybody your friend. Let me just put that out there. But some of them I call my friend, and some of them are just they light up rooms when they walk in the room. And Ebony is one of those people who lights up a room when she walks in. She has gotten our Spirit Award for the Gwinnett Women's Chamber. And by the way, if you don't know who we are, go to GwinnettWomen'sChamber.com. I'll pop that up there in a second so you guys can check us out. But we are doing amazing things here in Gwinnett County and beyond. And we actually just launched a virtual membership for those of you who are watching the show from around the world. And I know there are thousands right now that are watching. We do have a virtual membership because we will be doing online classes and online meetups and things like that. And so if you want to be a part of our community here in Gwinnett County and you live somewhere else, by all means, become a virtual member. And you can go to the website and you'll see more information about us there. We have a great group of women who are part of the chamber. We're doing amazing things, especially in AI. And that's why Ebony's coming on. She's going to talk to us about her new product and who's it for and how she got started and how she's been leveraging AI to help her do what she has to do in this space. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Ebony up so she can introduce herself.
Hey, Grand Rising Diva, how are you?
Listen, girl, I'm over here busy I'm busy. You know, we got the Georgia AI Summit in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from yesterday. And I have been, get your ticket, ma'am. Come through. Yeah, get to we're doing great things, and I'm excited. We have a lot of wonderful things that are coming out, especially in the AI space, and just helping businesses and communities, not just ours, but communities around the United States, because a lot is happening. I don't have to talk about that, but a lot is happening. A lot of people are losing their jobs, and when I sit in the seat that I sit in as a community leader, I feel like it's our charge to help figure out how to make sure people keep their jobs, how we create more jobs and things like that. So to me, AI is a great equalizer. That's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it the great equalizer. So without further ado, man, I want you to introduce yourself to the people so they can, for those of you who don't know who Ebony Caldwell is, here she is.
Hi, beautiful people. I am Ebony Caldwell, founder of Productive and Prosperous Empowerment Coaching, the Glow Up Collective, which is a group for women. And the glow means grounded, limitless, outstanding women. Yes. And now I have a newest venture called Sunkissed Genius Inc., where that's a big umbrella for everything that's eco-friendly, earth-friendly, green, sustainable. Like, I'm not playing, because it's like I got to make sure I'm able to live on this earth. So whatever part that I can play in it, that's what I'm gonna do. So whatever I can do, I'm going to get it done. So anyway, I am a motivational speaker, an empowerment coach, and a wellness advocate that's passionate about helping women tap into their divine light, mentally, physically, and spiritually, because I've been through that journey. And I do this through my journals. My movement coaching was the Glow Up community, and then my own 60+ pound weight loss. And I did that organically and naturally. So I show women how to rise, reclaim their power, and live abundantly, because it's your divine right to do so. And so now I'm expanding that mission through my Sun Kiss Glow, which is a vegan, eco-conscious sunscreen line specifically created to protect and celebrate melanin-rich skin. You see this? And so I'm so excited to share more with you today and invite you to join our glowing community. Yes. Okay, I'm done, Audrey.
Thank you. So listen, yeah, I heard she does it all, but you know what? It was a lot, but it's okay, Ebony, because you know your mission is to empower women and make them become the best version of themselves as possible. And right. So many people need that. So many people are struggling with so much stuff right now, and the way things are going, I'm assuming, and I could totally be wrong, it's only getting worse. So when we have people in spaces like you're in, that you are talking about self-nurturing and self-love and better version of yourself, it's so important and it's so needed. And let me tell you, there are a lot of broken people. There are a lot of broken people, and they don't even know that they're broken. And because they're broken, they break every relationship they have. And they wonder why it's always people walking out of their lives. Well, you're broken and you haven't fixed yourself. And because you have not fixed yourself, you're breaking your relationships. And I've been a part of some of those, like amazing women, and they are broken. And the next thing I know, the relationship is broken. I'm like, oh my Lord. And so, you know, how do you help those women get? And we're gonna get to Sun Kiss, but I want you to talk about that part first, because I know that you have gone through a lot. Yes. And you talk about your weight loss journey, you talk about your marriage journey, you talk about all of that stuff. So broken women, how do they fix themselves? What do they need to be doing right now? And not just broken women, broken people.
Yes. Yeah. And it plays on both fields. So and I'm gonna just speak for me and focus on what I did. So my thing that I had to do, I had to grow and heal. And when I say grow and heal, I had to grow and heal in 3 different sections. That's spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. I'm at the age of 50. Well, August I'll be 50. I'm having a big 50th birthday bash. You going? And with that, with that, I had to do a lot. Now, this is just for my personal journey. Like after I divorced, you know, and did a lot of things, I had to actually sit still for a second. And when I say sit still, not like not work and go outside, but like I became celibate. And I talk about it. It's cool. I was celibate for like 6 years. But within that time of the celibacy, to me, to avoid like distractions and all else, everything that comes with that, you know, when you're not celibate. So, and picking up other people's energy, picking up, it's a lot of stuff you pick. People don't understand when you're in, and I hope I can say sex, when you, relations. When you have relations with other people, people don't understand. I debated with the person because they literally thought it was okay to go sleep around with everything, and there's no recourse about it. And what you got to understand is like, okay, it's cool, do what you do, but you picking up energies. You picking up different energies, and then to me, you swapping body fluids. That's just my personal opinion. So that's a no for me. So just with me being celibate for those 6 years, the way that I learned myself, because I was by myself, and it's just the growth, the spiritual, being able to be aligned with the divine. Oh my gosh, the growth of that mental health that came along with it. Because I had a lot of self-talk. I started journaling. Journaling will get your whole life together. That's why I have like 2 journals on Amazon now, and I have a 3rd one coming regarding gratitude. I learned gratitude. I can talk about this all day, but I know I'm gonna keep it short. So the growth came from that spiritual growth, because I was with self, I was able to get the answers of the questions I'm asking, because people not understand when you're clouded and distracted by everything, and you up here praying and you asking all these questions, but you're not able to receive it because you distracted, you clouded. So once you become aligned, and no matter whether you have relations or not, but once you got yourself to the point to where you can receive the answer, or you're sitting still enough and you're open, you're not clouded, you can receive those answers. Then with the mental, that helped me because, I had childhood traumas, but I'm an advocate of sitting there, standing and saying, I stand in my truth and I stand resolute. I'm not my traumas, because if I did the work and I walk that out, because some people may come into your life and may trigger those traumas. Now that has happened to me, and I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. And this is recently. I had someone come in my life and trigger traumas, but then it was to the point to where they kept blaming it all on me. And then that's when I was like, ooh, let me sit with self for a minute and let me process. And I was like, you know what? It ain't me, it's you. It's you. Yeah. And once I removed myself, I was good. So I was just like, ooh, so that's a growth moment for me. Okay. The way that I do that, I make sure I break limiting beliefs. And with that, you know what breaking limiting beliefs is? That's just things that we acquire from our parents, parents. You know, money don't grow on trees. Oh, don't go over there. If you go in that town, that ain't gonna happen. Well, you know what? You can't do that because a black person can't get that high in this. Oh, well, you can't make that much money because you'll never be. That's limiting beliefs. And I'm not gonna put myself in there. I'm not gonna put that roof over I'm not gonna do that. So I broke limiting beliefs. I lost the weight. That was a lot for me because that's just for me. And I had to lose it organically because I had to change my mindset about food because I was a food advocate. I still am as of today, but I do it. I know how to do it because I've been doing it since 2015. So I kept that weight off for 11 years thus far, and I love it. Yeah, I know, Mama. So I'm good at it. Even if I take a day off and go have a blast and go eat and enjoy myself, I know how to come bring it, roll it, reel it back in, and then do a detox. I'm so good at it. And then I said mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Emotionally. What you have to do, you have to own your emotions. That blocking it and acting like it's not there, that is so unhealthy. You got to stand in your first. You got to stand in your ish. You got to stand in it. So once you acknowledge it, you stand in it, you acknowledge it, and then you go from there. And then I write things down. I make sure I stand in my truth. I speak affirmations over myself. And that's the thing with the inspirational apparel that I have, because those I ams, that's what got me here. That's what got me aligned. Because I had to start speaking to myself. I had to start speaking life into myself. I'm out here in the streets trying to look for someone else to do it to me. That's not their job. That is my job alone. And I did it. Now I'm filled with so much energy and so much light. And with me speaking life into myself, Audrey, I feel absolutely amazing. And if I have to let people go and let them stand where they are for me to continue, then I'm going to do that because I have a purpose to fulfill. And I can't keep standing back here sitting with you if you ain't willing to put in your work and move forward with me. I'm not trying to be, people will hold you back. And Audrey, you know that. People will hold you back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, and it's so funny. It's so funny. Yeah, and it's so cool. You said that you can't. You said you can't push that stuff to the back, and a lot of people do that. Ebony, they push their stuff to the back, and it really does hinder them. And they don't know how to. They don't know how to sit with it, and it's so important. My energy is so important to me these days. My daughter called me a hermit. She said, "You're becoming a hermit." I was like, "No, I'm not becoming a hermit, but I'm just very protective of my energy because I'm such an open person. I'm such a giving person, and everybody is a friend when I meet them until you're not, right?
Me too.
Once you're not, then you're not. But you're a friend until we meet and you do something to trigger me because I'm like anybody. I have my stuff and I can be triggered, and when I'm triggered, yeah, that's pretty much like I'm done. And if you are still around, that means that I said, you know what? I'm gonna forgive and I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep rocking with you. But if you're not still around, we're not rocking because you haven't done the work, and I can't let you mess up my energy. And so my daughter called me a hermit. She's like, "You becoming a hermit?" I was like, "No, I'm not becoming a hermit, but I'm very protective of my energy, and I'm very protective of the people I let in because people have a lot of negativity. A lot of people have a lot of negativity, and they don't understand that if people are constantly leaving your life, it's you. If you can't keep friends, it's you."
You said it's you.
It's you because you are the common denominator with everybody that keeps walking out of your life, but you find fault. It's something they did. No, it's you. It's not what they did. It's what you thought they did, what you thought they said. It's crazy. And I had someone say to me, and this was recently too, I suggested they go to therapy. You need to go to therapy, right? They didn't like that, but it wasn't to be mean. It's because you seriously need to go seek some help so you can become a better version of yourself. Now, I know people who go to therapy, it just don't help. Like they've been going to therapy, they've been in therapy for years and nothing helps them. I feel like that person probably is beyond help because they haven't made up their mind that they really want to change and become the other person.
They're not, that's right.
Right. They haven't made up their mind. So it's, I'm excited about the work that you do, but and it's such a needed work that as we move through the rest of our lives here on this earth, we have a lot of ish going on, and people are going to be even more broken than they are right now, even more scarred than they are right now because of so much. I watch YouTube every night, Ebony, right? I literally have to skip past some things that's in my feed because if I go to bed thinking about that, I wake up with a headache.
Yeah.
Because it's so bad.
So you got to protect your energy.
You got to protect your energy. So anyway, when did you become an entrepreneur and why?
I became an entrepreneur a long time ago, and I'll tell you real quick how I was. So when I was married, that's my ex-husband. When I was married, I'm single now, y'all. So when I was married, he was an entrepreneur naturally. I wasn't. I was working for I wasn't married, but anyway, I was working for the courthouse, and I was like, no, he was like, Ebony, get in sales. I remember a sales job came up, and they was like, yeah, it's strictly oh, help me out, mama. It's strictly because you don't get a paycheck every day.
Commission.
Every week. Thank
Commission.
you, girl. Anyway, so anyway, he was like, Ebony, he was like, listen. I was like, I don't like nobody telling me no. I ain't knocking on no door. I was so against it because now that's a limiting belief. That's a limiting belief, right? Yeah. And so when he's like, Ebony, listen to me, just do it. He said, I got you. He said, just do it. Mama, I stepped in there and then my light opened, boy. I started talking to people and boy, just the glow and people was attracted to me. I was killing it in the streets. Do you hear me? And then ever since then, I was like, this is great. Now it has its up and downs. Being an entrepreneur, I'm not going to say it's the brightest star ever. It has its up and downs, but if you got that in you and you put in that work, trust and believe. It's the energy you carry. It's another word I want to use too. It's your perception of things. And also to me, I was taught like every time someone says a no, you're closer to a yes. So that's what's innate. That's what's in my head. So I always go out there with positive energy. And I've been an entrepreneur since 2000, I think before 2010, even before that, because he taught me that. And so I've been there ever since. And once I tasted it and got a taste of it and the income of it, I was like, ooh, wee. Now, like I say, ups and downs, but I've been an entrepreneur ever since then. Yeah.
You know what's funny? Because I've been it's been 28 years this year. 28.
Woo, mama.
28 years. 26 of those years I've been working full-time from home. 26 of those years. I think I've had a job twice. I had a job when I got ready to get married for like 3 months. I quit that. I was like, yeah, we're going to have a small wedding. Because I went back to work because I wanted to have this big wedding. So I went back to work at the Essex County jailhouse. Shout out to everybody down at the county. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking to. Shout out to everybody at the county. I went back to work at the county for 3 months. I was like, I want to have a big wedding. I need a lot of money. And so, like you said, you got them ups and downs when you're an entrepreneur. So I was like, I want to have this wedding, but I don't want to use up all my money from the business. So I'm gonna get a job. And I went to work at the Essex County jail, honey. And every night I went to jail. And I was like, oh, wait, I can't do this right here. And so I would go, my shift was 3 to 11, and every night you go to jail and them doors clank behind you, like click, clink, and they clank hard. And I was like, I can't do this. So it is a lot of ups and downs, but what keeps you going? Because, you know, the paycheck is not always steady until you actually become a business owner. Like we're entrepreneurs. I'm still an entrepreneur, y'all. And when I say that, it means that if I'm not working, I ain't making money. But we're changing that in 2020, 2026. 2025, we're changing that. But what made you stay on this path? Because this is a rocky road. It's a rocky road.
What makes me stay on it is because of my creativity. I am able to be in my whole creative space, ma'am. I'm confident in what I do. I just love it. It does something for me. It speaks life into me. I just love it. I don't even know how else to say it or how else to put it. It's just that my creativity alone, it's like I can create something and nobody can tell me no because I created it. I don't got no, like I said, there's no ceiling over my head. I can get out of that box and walk in all of my greatness. And it's my creativity. I created that. That's what, it just makes me happy. That's what keeps me going.
And that's so important. I know a lot of people, they chase the money. And because I did that for years. I was chasing a dollar, baby. A dollar, me and a dollar, we were running. They were running from me. And
I got me and a dollar.
Yeah, me and a dollar, honey. I was chasing them dollars. But I got to the point where I loved my freedom. And because I could have gone back to work several times. Like my husband works in a very good industry. Yes. And he could have easily walked me in the door and got a job easily. Yes. To this day, he still can. And I joke with him every now and again. And I said, but he don't want me there. Because he knows I'm not going to sit there and be quiet. You know, I can't do corporate BS. So I'm not
me either.
Oh, God, no. And
you got one time to come at me wrong. And I got grown children. That's a wrap. I'm like, no, sir. Yeah.
And there have been times I joke with him, like, I think I'm just tired of being an entrepreneur. I think I just want to go, work and just, so I can get off at 5 o'clock and just not think about nothing. Because after 5 o'clock, most people don't think about nothing. That's not entrepreneurship. We think about stuff in our sleep. I just want to give my brain a break, right? And I tell him, you should get me a job. And he'll say something like, okay, because I'm blunt and playing, but I could have gone back to work several times. I did go back to work when my mom passed away because I was so devastated behind her death. I lost her to COVID in 2021 and my business fell apart like completely because if I'm not there, there's no business. And for 6 months, I wasn't there. I got out the bed at just in time to do the show every day, and then I would get back in bed, and I was just miserable for like 6 months. So I went to work I went back to law enforcement, which is funny. I went back to law enforcement. I worked at the DA's office here in Gwinnett County for 6 months. And thank you to District Attorney Patsy Austin Gaston for giving me that opportunity to help me heal, because I needed to heal from that whole that was traumatic for me. Yes. COVID was traumatic for me, and that's trauma that's part of why I am the way I am, like protecting my energy, protecting myself physically because of the loss of my mom to COVID. So, but I had to heal, and I picked up the phone and I called somebody that I felt like could help me heal, and she did. And I will forever, ever, ever, ever be grateful for that opportunity. But outside of that, that was it. So, Ebony, you're on this path. You got this new venture, which I love. Let me tell you something. I've heard people say, I'm going to put on sunscreen. And I'm going to give you a quick story. I'm going to let you talk about the sunscreen. I went to Florida one time, right? Now, mind you, I'm not an outside sun kind of person. I was like, it's too hot. I don't want to be outside. So me and my friends go to Florida. We hanging out. I think we were in Daytona Beach. It was like spring break. When I got home, Ebony, a couple of days later, my nose started peeling. I thought something was wrong with me because I'm thinking, what's wrong with my nose? Because it started peeling like right across the bridge. So I'm starting to freak out. And they were like, well, you in the sun? I was like, well, yeah, we're on the beach. And I was like, they was like, well, what do your skin got burned? I'm like, what do you mean? I didn't think we burned. So I'm sitting there peeling the skin off my nose because I was in the sun. Like we on the beach hanging out. Had no clue that I should have had on sunscreen. To this day, I have never put sunscreen on any part of my body. So when you said you was launching a sunscreen for melanated people, I'm like, oh, okay. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. What, why, and how?
You said what, why, and how. So the reason, the why is because I'm like you. It was years ago, actually. I went to Disney World in Florida. That Florida sun is different. I don't care what anyone say. It's the same sun. I don't care what y'all say. That Florida sun is different, ma'am, sir. Yeah. All of y'all. I went to Disney, and you know, I'm dark. I'm a dark sis. I'm gonna say I'm chocolate. I'm a chocolate girl, dark chocolate. Right. I went out there. I was like, yep, son, yep, and girl. All of a sudden, I got this. It was just like these bumps and this rash going down my neck onto my collarbone. And I was like, what is that? Then it was on my shoulder because we had the audacity to get a convertible. And I was wondering why people was looking at us. I thought people was looking at us because we had a convertible car. We cute. They was like, these people don't know what they do.
Right. Right.
We was in that convertible. And when I tell you, even years, that was so long ago, I even still got just a couple of marks left from that sun burning my skin. And it peeled on my shoulder and everything. Even that's when I was married. So my ex-husband even messed him up. And I was like, it's no way, not the melanin. I'm heavily melanated. I was like, and that was from back then. Now, like you said, until then, I started wearing sunscreen maybe about a year or two ago. I started wearing it because when I started reading stories and looking at stuff, and I was like, ooh, and it was melanated women who were getting like little skin cancers and I was like, wait, what? I said, well, So what happened? Because you know, you hear the story of everybody else going through it except for us. Right. So once I started hearing it, I was like, dang, let me protect my skin. And at that time, there wasn't nothing for us. And then one did recently come out. There was no sunscreen. And then one recently came out who I use now because I support my people no matter what. So I got that and I started using that. And then I thought to myself, and I'm gonna be honest, I had like someone came up to me and they said, what do you do? And you know, that's when I wear my hair natural at the top. You know, when I put the bun at the top, you know, you compliment me on that. And someone came to me and they was like, well, what do you have hair products or what do you? And I was like, no, I don't do anything. They was like, well, what's in your skin? I was like, nothing. They said, you don't got no sunscreen or nothing. I said, yeah, I got on sunscreen. So then I thought, and they said, you should do something. They said, because just you alone is the brand. And they was looking me up and down. They was like, just you alone is the brand. And I was like, and I went home and, you know, I write my stuff down because you do it too. I write my affirmations. I write we manifest, ma'am. So I was manifesting. I was writing stuff down and I had a dream and I was like, ooh wee. And then that's when I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to create because I know what I want. So when I went to go look what I wanted, and there was no one with what I wanted. So I created, creating a specific type of sunscreen, and it is vegan, it's earth friendly, it's eco friendly. And the reason why I did that because I feel that I need to create a product that protects our skin and our planet. And and the vegan formula, which is clean, is plant-based ingredients, no animal byproducts, no unnecessary chemicals, because a lot of them have chemicals in it, Audrey. And so it's gentle and nourishing and kind, to our skin. So, and with that being said, I just feel that with our skin and with the products that I have in it that comes from the earth, it lifts. It feeds your skin, especially the melanin. It's like when you put it on your melanin, be like, oh my God, thank you. So I did my homework. I did my homework on it. And it does something else in it, which I'm not gonna say yet, but it's like once the sun hits your skin, people are like, ooh, wee, baby girl. So it does something that I haven't, So it does a lot of stuff. And I don't go into detail yet,
It's hitting the shelf soon. The formula.
Yeah, it's hitting the shelf soon. And that's what got me on it. Did I answer the question? If I missed anything, let me know.
You did. You answered the question. And I got to ask you though. So, with this, so my husband works in pharmaceutical, right? Like I feel like I'm a pharmaceutical manufacturer at this point because I know like
everything from A to Z.
Yes, girl. Because it's vegan. Because I know that when it comes to FDA regulations and things like that, so let me just say this: if you're putting out a supplement. Supplements are not regulated by the FDA like opioids and things like that are. Like they are regulated a little bit, but the regulations are a little bit lightened because of, it's a supplement, right? And it's supposed to not do you any harm unless you have an allergic reaction to it. So this is why I tell my husband, because I could work in pharmaceutical, which I could, but because your product is vegan based, earth friendly, did you have to go through the FDA process to get it approved? And if you did, what was that like?
So for it to be FDA and this and so forth, I made sure I picked products that were already done, that are already FDA approved. So I just searched for products that were already FDA, because there's a lot of lotion, sunscreens, and body that have already FDA approved vegan products. So that's what I looked for. I just looked for specific ones that was for this.
Yeah.
For the heavily melanated. Go ahead.
Now listen to what she just said, y'all. Instead of y'all start from zero, thinking you got to go and do your own formulation and all, you can go and find products. And I do this all the time in tech, Ebony. I did a class last night for my sorority sisters, and I told them, look, I tech stack everything that you see me create. I don't know how to write a line of code, but I can stack some tech together, because guess what? The people behind ChatGPT, they are spending trillions. Why do I need to go out there and try to spend my little 100,000 that put it together when they already done did that? They spend trillions and they make sure it stay up. So you tech stack and you stack stuff together. Ebony said, instead of me having to go through the FDA, which is a rigorous process, even though it's not as rigorous as going through if you was doing some other kind of drug manufacturing, because it's a lot with that. My husband said to me the other day, man, DEA came in the other day. We did bad. And I was like, why? And so I know how they run their shit. It's the tiniest thing that could throw you off. And he was like, we did bad because somebody had on their hairnet, but they found a hair, and not in the product, but they found a hair inside of some other. It was crazy. So the process is crazy. Do what Ebony just said. If you're trying to release a product, find out who's already doing it and go to them. They're a company. I know for a fact. I like shea butter, right? Anybody who use shea butter knows shea butter is extremely thick. I got a big, thick thing, but I love it.
A big thing.
Oh God, I love it. But it's so thick. And I always thought about, man, I want to melt this down and make it into something. But I was like, I don't feel like doing all of that, right? But I did find a company, Ebony, who is already FDA approved. All I got to do is say, this is what I want. This is what I needed to smell like. And I'm in business, right? But I was like, I don't know if that's a business I want to get into. You said, I'm going to do this thing. How did you find the companies that you're working with right now to bring your dream to fruition?
AI.
Listen, say it again, ma'am. One more time.
AI.
Ooh, there you go. What does
it's
that
like
look
once
like?
You speak it in there and you be like, look, this is what I'm looking for. Boom, boom, boom. When I say the way they come through, ma'am, that's all I can say.
And you know what? People don't know AI is now, ChatGPT is really a search engine, right? Like they're competing with Google right now. Like
as they should.
Yep, they're competing with Google right now. So did you use ChatGPT or did you use one of the other ones? Copilot, Claude, Gemini. Was it just chat?
I
Which one did
used
you use?
Card for the for my website page, the landing page and everything, which was cool. But Chat GPT that did that, but I was made sure I made sure that even then when it comes out, I still do my homework on what I'm given to make sure it
Yeah.
goes with what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. But once you go in there and you say what you want, the way it come up and show up and show out, I was like, ooh wee, because I knew what I
Yeah.
wanted. I knew what I was
Yeah.
looking for.
That's that
Yes,
clarity
ma'am.
piece. So when it came to you finding your partner, did they request that you have a certain amount of quantity to purchase? Because I know when I was manufacturing my dolls, and for those of you who don't know, Georgette and I invented the first plus size fashion dolls. That's how we got it. I call it our first real business because we had to learn everything from soup to nuts. And as a matter
Yeah.
of fact, the molds are still sitting in China right now, and the tariff one was like 200,000 whatever dollars. The tariff, it's a 200,000% over in China. So even if I wanted to get the dolls done, I probably couldn't afford to because of the tariffs. Because that's my manufacturer in China. When you decided to work with your manufacturer, and they told you what you needed to produce, did they give you a quantity that was a mandatory quantity, or do they do short runs?
So right now I'm working with one to do a short run because see, I still got to go through the process of what is the word? This the process of goodness gracious, mama. I'm going through a brain thing. Anyway, basically going through it where you're trying everything out to make sure everything
The
works. What is the word?
validation,
Say that again.
the validation process.
I think that's what it is. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through the products because you want to make sure your products work and do what they do when you put them all together. It's a
Right.
word that I want to use, and I'm so sorry because yours I'm like boom, boom, boom. But anyway, that's where I'm going through now because you don't want to move too fast and you have everything out there, and then you start breaking out a whole specific type of people. You got to make sure your products work for everybody, for sensitive skin, all types of skin, Audrey. So that's what I'm going through now. And what is it called? The trials. I think it's called the
Trial. I
trial.
was about to say that.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think look, this is my first time in this type of business here. We talking about speech and talking and motivating. That's my thing. But this right here, so I'm learning as I'm going as well. This is not something that I just know automatically. I'm learning, but I know what I want specifically. I know what I want it to look like on my skin. I know the way I want it to feel. So that's going through the trials to make sure that I's are dotted and T's are crossed. That's what I'm doing as of right now. And it's kind of, I'm not gonna say it's hard because I don't want to think that way. Like I say, breaking limiting beliefs. The way I look at it, because they don't automatically give me a loan to take care of everything. You see what I'm saying? You know
Right.
where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
I gotta move at a pace just to make
Right.
sure I got this done. Okay, now let me get it together, get to this next step. So that's what it is for me. But I will say I enjoy the journey. So that's where I'm at now. If I come into a crossroad to where they be like, yeah, you're gonna need this obscene amount of money, just like what you just said, just the tariff. Now, the way that I do it, I'm gonna be honest, the majority of my stuff comes from here because I made sure
Good.
I made sure I look because I had to make sure that there wasn't no child labor laws broken because there's some places out of different country stuff they use children to do
Yeah.
things. I can't do that. I
Mm-hmm.
can't be a green, sustainable, eco-friendly, conscious. I can't do all that. And you go over here getting kids to do stuff. So I got to be very conscious of with the way I move and what company I'm using. So that's why it takes a little longer. If I'm going to be a conscious
Yeah.
product, a earth-friendly, earth-conscious, I got to be careful how they source it.
So let me ask you this because those are some good points. Right now we're going through this whole process, and by me sitting in the seat as the president of a chamber, I have to look at all aspects of what that looks like, right? So of course, we support women in business. That's our first focus, but we also are community driven, right? And we're looking at people losing their jobs by the tens of thousands, not one, not two, tens of thousands. And so, in my opinion, we're charged with trying to figure out what's the next step. Like, how do we help these people? When it comes to you trying to do your manufacturing in the States, which a lot of people would want to do their manufacturing. Like, if I could manufacture those dolls in the United States, I would.
Yeah.
But it's so cost prohibitive that it's almost impossible to do, right, without a large influx of capital. And a lot of entrepreneurs, especially us with melanated skin, we don't have access to capital like that. So did you the manufacturer that you're working with, is that a part of their platform where they say, you know what, we'll do short runs for you, or was that like something special just for you? Because I know a lot of companies won't do short runs, and if they do short runs, the price point is so high, it's almost impossible to make a profit because the margins are so thin on the products, right? So, what is that something that they do as a practice where they do short runs, or was that just something special for you?
So it was a practice, and they do the short runs. It's like they were very understanding. I don't know if it's because of what's going on. I gotta say this, Mom, and I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
Because of what's going on in the world, and people are losing jobs. Money is short for a lot of people. It's like everybody trying to make a dollar somewhere. So if they got to do a special circumstances to get because of the long run, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm gonna say it like this. So what I'm doing right now, I know normally, because you know this, normally it would cost thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But because the way that the economy is, and because what's going on, it seems like it's opening the door for the little people. And I'm just going to leave it like that. Because the way things are working and the way things are becoming aligned, I do not question. I'll be up here, I do gratitude sessions. I'll be like, ooh, wee. Even the support. Because they be like, okay, well, this is how you want to be with certain people. Okay, well, we'll just go support. Okay, I'll take that. Thank you. So do you see what I'm saying? So I'm just so I'm going with what's doing, and I don't even question it, because I do know where you're coming from. But I think because what's going on in the world and what I'm doing at this moment, at this time, it's like things is just becoming aligned because they opening the door because of what's going on. I'll give you a prime example, like Target. You saw what happened with them because what is his name? Mr. Brian tomorrow, I think. And they losing money. Now they looking for melanated women to help out because now they saw what happened and they dollars was messed up. So guess what? I'll be one of those. You can put my products. What? So this, see what I'm saying? So this is the time.
Yeah.
So that's So
now let me ask you this, because some people will frown on it, and I give you a prime example, right? And I often question myself because I'm working on something right now. I'm working on something that can help communities, right?
Yes.
But it may require me to go to DC and have a sit down.
Okay.
And I ask myself, do I want to do that? Right. And what is going to be the backlash if I did that? Right. So you just said, put me in Target, even though we know Target was the first one to jump ship when the president took office and said, get rid of DEI. They were the first one, and they took a whooping. They got beat.
They did.
And that's the bleep right there. They got beat down. So now they have realized, well, we can't. And even here's the funny thing, y'all. It's not a lot of us that shop at Target. They did a study on that. It's like, it's not a lot of us that shop at Target, but there are a lot of people who did not agree with what they did. So even though we may not shop there are a lot of other people who shop there who felt like what they did was wrong. Do you feel like you saying, put me in Target is going to get you backlash because, people are mad at Target right now because they got rid of DEI, even though DEI was not black. It wasn't for anybody. It wasn't. But for some reason, it's attached to black folk.
I think we were at the bottom of the totem pole in DEI, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So it was like, right. But they thought it was us. Like, oh, it's black. No, it wasn't just us. But anyway, people may say, why are you going to go back into Target, Ebony? Because they don't like us, or they got rid of DEI, or whatever it is. What do you say to that? Because that's a you might get that.
Oh no, I know everything that I might get. And what I'm going to say to that is that they don't know what I'm looking at when I look at the bigger picture. So if I get to the point where I'm manufacturing all my stuff, down to my clothing, down to my sunscreen skincare line, down to everything that I have that I haven't spoken on yet, everything that I have. And I created myself, and I have 3 warehouses that I have here that manufactures all my stuff. I've created jobs.
That's right.
That's how I look at it.
Well, there you go. And that's important. So now I'm going to take that wisdom from you, because I've been kind of torn, like, okay, I need to, because I'm in this AI space right now, and I see opportunities everywhere. I feel like AI is a great equalizer for a lot of people, whether you have a college degree or not, whether you've been to prison or not. It is the absolute great AI and entrepreneurship. Great equalizer. It doesn't matter your background, doesn't matter your skin color, doesn't matter your religion, doesn't matter your gender. It doesn't matter. It is the great equalizer. And I know for a fact that there are fundings out there for people and that are just sitting somewhere and nobody's talking about it because so much stuff is going on in the world. So I like that. You're creating jobs, which is so important. And here's the other thing too, y'all, if we're trying to figure out how, if we're saying bring manufacturing back to the United States, what's the plan for that? I got a plan. Because I was like, okay, so where's the plan to do that? This is me laying in the bed on Sunday morning because this is my moment of clarity on most of the morning. Where's the plan to do that? We keep talking about we need to do that. What's the plan? What is the plan to make sure that, rural town America can bring manufacturing back? What does that look like? Has anybody did the study? I've done the study. The study is being prepared. And because I'm looking at that, like people are losing their jobs by the tens of thousands. Yep. And until we do something, it's going to get worse. We entrepreneurs, communities, we can't just sit back and just watch the news all day and wait for stuff to happen. We got to make it happen. Yep. You know what I mean? We have to make stuff happen. So if you're in your community and you're looking at this right now saying, well, what part can you play in making things happen? If you have a skill and you're not afraid if you're not afraid to share because somebody's going to take my business from me, well, no, you be a good business and they won't take your business. But here's what you can do. Train folks so they can know how to go out there and get it for themselves. And guess what? Everybody don't like you anyway. I'm just keeping that REAL. They don't like you anyway. So train somebody else so they can work with that person so we can build the economy up. Listen, everybody don't like me and that's okay.
Yeah, that's definitely okay. I don't even focus on that. Right. I don't even have the energy to spend on any of that. So I'm with you on that.
Exactly. So do your part and train folks so we can strengthen our communities. If you are listening to the sound of my voice, I don't care what you do. If you've been working in corrections for the last 25 years, you can train somebody on self-defense. You can train somebody how to go get the job as a CEO. You can train somebody. Train the folks. We need CEOs now more than ever. Because the crime rate is going to increase because tens of thousands of people are losing their jobs and they're going to be stressed out. Everything's going to tick them off. So train folks, do your part.
Now I'm going to agree with you on that. That's what I want to put in, like everything I do with the healing and the in the Glow Up Collective, that empowerment group for women that I have. That's what we have. We have real, raw, life-changing conversations. And in there, it's a safe, sacred space. It's a private group. And that's what we do. We do mental health. We do speaking life into each other. We write down things to release trauma, go and burn it up. Do you hear me? Throw it out, flush it down the toilet, do something. Because now you have healthy, well people walking about. Because now, like you just said, if you got all them people that's traumatized, they still in that negative mindset. They're still in those limiting beliefs. Now you walk around with dangerous people who are ready to cap off at a second. Because we see that a lot too. Because once you come across the wrong person, and then that person already tipping over the edge, and you that person to make them completely tip, and then that is it. So that's why, like you say, whatever skill you have, that's one of mine. I'm just trying to help people get to wholeness, to get back, to get aligned, and start loving self. So now you can go out there and you can walk by, and then you can teach the children, because these children are off the train today, Miss Audrey.
That's right.
You hear me? They some angry little babies.
Listen, my granddaughter is 6 years old, and she and I spent the weekend with me, right? And we spent the weekend making music for her platform that Gia is creating for her. So I'm creating her an AI platform, a smart platform. And she spent the weekend with me making music. It was so funny, Ebony, because we made music all day Saturday. And she loved every second of it. And it has her name in there. And it's talking about Carter this and Carter that. Carter's doing all kinds of stuff. And she danced. And every time we would do the song, she's like, wait, Gia, let me show you the dance that's going to go with that song. But they're learning songs, right?
I love
These kids are so smart. But if we don't start now, they're going to miss out.
You're
right? We don't start now. The iPad, the YouTube, the TikTok, the Instagram. I remember back in the day, and I'm dating myself. My daughter used to watch Barney, right? It was safe to leave her in front of Barney all day because Barney was singing, "I love you, you love me.
Yeah, we one
big
family.
Are happy family." Yep. That's what Barney was singing. You go to YouTube. Nah, that's not what they're doing. They throwing slime on folks. They pranking people, like, you know what I'm saying? So we leave our kids to those devices. Those are the type of things they're going to do. We have to change that. So my daughter now, we talk about this all the time. She's a mom of one, and we talk about, how can we make sure we set the baby up for the future, because she is the future. They are the future, and they are smart. I tell them, those kids are so smart. I said to my daughter, these kids are aliens. And she said to myself, why do you say that? I said, I'm telling you, they're different.
They are.
This group right here that's coming up, they're aliens. And I be saying that, she be like, you just crazy. But you have to set them up. And so teaching them entrepreneurship, teaching them life skills like right now, teaching them money management, like that's inside the baby's platform that I'm creating for her. It has a smart money for kids built into it. She's 6, but she knows about money because her mother has a bank that looks like an ATM machine in her bedroom.
That's right.
And she can only get money out the ATM when she gets a star.
That's
it's
right.
hilarious.
I love that.
Right. So she understands that that's an ATM machine. You can't take no money out there unless you put money in and unless you do something really, really good. You just can't take it to go buy bubble gum. You got to do something good. So, but those are the things we're teaching right now when we have to do this. When you look at what you're building right now for the future, where do you see yourself in 5 years as far as legacy?
Ooh wee. See, the sky's the limit for me. I just know as long as I'm gonna be honest, Audrey, as long as I'm aligned with my purpose. I'm back. You see me? You got me?
Yeah, I hit it by mistake. Sorry about that.
That's okay, baby.
Gotcha.
That's fine. So, like I say, I'm just being honest and straightforward. As long as I'm walking in my purpose, my very physical existence for being on this earth, I'm actually fine with whatever that outcome would be. Now, I did have a dream of it because I asked and it was shown to me. So I know what it is. I take all that. I receive all that. So within those 5 years, I already going to be at the status where I want to be. As long as I am helping people, Mama, that's honesty. That's all. And create generational wealth. That's a must. That is a must. There's no option with that one, period. And being able to take care of myself so I can live long enough to see them enjoy that.
And just know this, y'all, we don't say generational wealth just because it's like some kind of, keyword phrase kind of thing. Right. This is real talk. Like if you look around, it's real talk. If you look around, you're sitting under lights that is generational wealth.
Yep.
Look at the lights. Look at this computer. Like that's going to go on for generations. And we should be focused on the same thing. I was listening to somebody and they were telling us, they were saying how, I forgot who, I want to say it was Dr. Kumar. And I don't listen to a lot of that stuff because some of that stuff depresses me because it's the truth. I'm just going to keep it real. It's the truth and it's depressing. But he was talking about how when you look at gas stations and hotels, who run those? Who own those? And I was like, right. When you look at hair import and you look at certain foods and who owns that?
Beauty supply stores and
beauty supply stores. Who owns that? And I was like, then he said, what do we own? They own industries. I'm not talking about businesses. We own businesses. They own industries.
Oh, I know.
They own the hair industry. They own the hotel industry. They own the gas station industry. They own industries. What industry do we own?
Now, I do want to say this, that I had that conversation with somebody. Now, I do see a shine. I'm positive Patty, but I do see, I have seen a turn, especially with our hair products, because a lot of our stuff is being made by us. And then what I see happen, then all of a sudden they sell all of it because someone's coming with such a big check to take it. But then once that happens, I stop using it because then my mind go, well, dang, what you putting it in? Why are you so pressed to buy it? Okay, I'm gonna stop using it. That's me.
But let me tell you something. I bought a hair product. My daughter sent it to me. She said, oh, people are using this, and I'm like, okay, cool. So it's supposed to be make your hair thicker because I used to have thick hair too, right? And I used to I want my hair to grow back thick. So I bought the product and I'm looking at it and it was like, now it's supposed to be for black hair. It's like, so wash your hair every day. I'm like, who made this product? What black person wash their hair every day?
And that's a telltale sign right there because we know that we don't wash our hair every day. Our hair has to sit in where it's sitting there because that's when it grows the most.
Right. I'm like, wash your hair every day. I was like, who made this?
That's a telltale sign.
Telltale sign, because I'm like, we don't wash our hair every day. That's not something we do. And so I was like, okay, I probably won't buy this again because then I sent the question like, well, can I leave it in? Because I'm definitely not washing my hair every day, and I never got an answer back. I was like, yep, won't be buying this again.
Because girl, hair be on the floor if we wash it every day, girl. Bye.
Right. I'm like, wash your hair every day and then apply every day after washing. I'm like, okay, so this is not for me for real. Anyway, I digress. So you got a plan. Um you have a wonderful thing that's going on right now.
I do.
What do you want people to know before we close?
Well, I would love for them to honestly that the glow up community that I have is really for women, ages 28 and up. And the way that we talk, we speak life into ourselves and each other in this group. It's a private space. Like we have sessions to where we take that trauma. It's like mental health, the trauma releasing things, forgiving people, but for ourselves, it's a lot that goes on in that group. I just want people to stand firm, stand resolute. Make sure you have boundaries, and that's for everybody, men and women, not just women. Men and women, you have to set boundaries. You have to protect your energy. You have to protect yourself, because when you allow people to come in and do as they please and as they want to do, they're not worried about you. They're on for their own happiness. So I am here to tell you, love yourself. Do you hear me? Love on yourself and respect yourself, because when you have that respect for yourself and that high regard for yourself, these people out here, these ninjas out here have no other. They have no other choice but to respect and honor that. And if
What
they
you call
don't,
them, ninjas?
yeah, ninjas. That's what I call them. These ninjas ain't gonna
You
have no
call them
respect for you.
ninjas? You said ninjas. You said ninjas, Ebony.
Ninjas, I sure did. So then, if they don't, then they can blow bubbles and kick rocks, and it's just that simple. Do not let anyone make you feel less than. I don't care what they saying. Do your work and heal yourself. That's it. I'll put in your work. Go see therapy. Go therapy. I will say the power is within you. You just have to make that decision to tap into it and make that choice that you want that to happen. So that's it for me. I know she has some links up there. Even there's a link for the Sun Kiss Glow. I don't know if it's in there or not, but I'll
No,
make sure.
give me that link. Let me have that link.
Oh shoot, mama, it's the HTTPS, you know that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's Sun Kiss Glow at the card.co. Remember CARRD or is it CARDD?
Okay,
What is
so
this?
hold on, listen, y'all. Don't. Listen, look
I
at the
emailed
picture though.
everything.
Look at Sun Kiss. I love that. When you sent me that, I said that is beautiful.
Did you see the other stuff? You should see what on the website, the oil and the spray and the it's all on there.
It's on the Sun Kiss. Okay, wait a minute. We're gonna pull this website up in a minute.
Yeah, because
Hold
it's
on.
under card.co. Now I got it here, so I'm gonna make sure I repeat it out correctly.
Okay, drop it in the comment, and I'll paste it over here. That's
oh
my
my
bad
gosh,
to y'all.
I can't drop it. What you mean drop it?
So what is it? sunkissglow.card.com.co?
I have it. It's it's HTTPS, you know, all this stuff, and it's Sun Kissed with ED on it. Sun Kiss Glow, GLO .card, CARRD, which you know you refer that to me .co.
.co. All right, cool. Listen, blame it on me, y'all, because I tell y'all, your girl over
I know
here
you were busy. I emailed you twice, and I was look at you, boo snaps. Let me make sure it's Sun Kiss Glow. You better get it, mama. That's it. Listen, and the website is there. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, check Ebony out. Ebony, I'm so busy right now. So the Georgia AI Summit is happening on May 21st. So we're just trying to, get the last minute thing. And I'm going to be doing a live workshop, a live presentation there to go through some things that I've created with AI, including my granddaughter's platform, which I'm going to release there as well, so people get a chance to see exactly some of the things that I've been working on with AI. And I've been using AI since 20. Let me tell you something. I've been using AI. This is a crazy thing, and I didn't even realize it. And my friend told me last night, she's an attorney. We're about to work on a project too. I'm excited about that one. But she said to me, she said, "Girl, you was talking about that 10 years ago." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "I was talking to my ex-boyfriend at the time," and she said, and this is how she said it to me because it was funny. She said, "I said to him, that lady is smart." And I said, "You ain't say that lady, did you?" She said, "Because we didn't know each other yet." And she said, I said to him, "That lady is smart." And that just cracked me up because 10 years later, we are good friends. And but she reminded me, she said, "Audrey, you was talking about this back in 2015. And I said, "Was I?" She said, "Yeah, when people wasn't talking about streaming TV and all that." And I was, because I had a TV network called HerTube that I launched in 2013. And right after that, 2014, Amazon came out with Amazon Fire TV. So I launched on there. And then they came out with Alexa, and I launched on there. Alexa's AI. I've been on Alexa since the inception.
Yes.
Since the inception.
Yes.
And which is crazy. And I said, "Girl, I didn't even know." But I had to do a check, Ebony. And this is what we don't think about, y'all, because we do so much stuff. I realized I've been creating websites since 1994. And what made me think about that was someone was talking to me, and I was like, "Oh, I went to school to learn how to do websites." Dominique was 3 years old, and I never forget it. I was still working at the hospital, and she was 3, and I was like, "I don't want to work at the hospital anymore because I hate it." And I went to school to learn how to do websites. Why websites? I have no idea. And I went to school for that, and I forgot about that. I did the first newsletter like in 1994 or 97, something crazy. Now
Wow.
all of these things are like everyday conversation things, but we have to start looking at where we can plant our seeds and plant our flags and grow. And Ebony, I'm so glad that you're doing what you're doing. I'm so glad that you're empowering people. You're helping people heal, because healing is so important. You got to heal. You got to know how to say, I'm sorry. You got to forgive folks. All of that's a part of healing, and if you think somebody has wronged you, you need to ask yourself, what did you do? Like, what did
Oh,
you
now
do in that
sis, you touching on it now. You better say it.
Listen, what did you do to cause that? You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot going on, but you can't grow. You can't do what Ebony's doing without healing. And if you do, it's going to be fractured.
Yeah.
If you're trying to grow generational wealth and create amazing businesses and you're unhealed, it's going to be a problem for you, because you got to work with people, and you can't really work with people if you're not healed. I'm just telling you, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And then another thing another thing you do have to look at yourself, because if you're attracting them same type of people, like you said, that's when you got to dig deep. Let me stop for a minute and let me look at me, because why do I keep attracting those type of people?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let me tell you, when you start, now let me say this, because you know this to be true. When you ask yourself that very question Ebony just said, and you find yourself alone, you have done the work and you no longer attract those folks, it could become extremely lonely.
I know.
If you don't know how to be alone with yourself, because here's the thing, you're not attracting negative Nancy and doubting Thomas, you're not attracting them anymore. So now you have to figure out how to attract the people you want to be around. You want the people that you want to be. And it's so crazy because my circle is so tiny, Ebony, but it's people that I don't mind being around. Yeah. The circle is that big.
I know.
It's that big. But it's people that I just literally don't mind being around and can spend hours with them. Yep. Hours. Talking for hours on the phone. I don't talk to anybody for a long period of time on the phone. And when I do, I'm having a good conversation to the point where I can't hang up, like, okay, we need to hang up now. That kind of thing. Well, listen, ma'am, I want to thank you so much for being my guest this morning. I wish you nothing but the absolute best. Listen, GWC, this is what we do over here. We shine the spotlight on our members. So if you know that you want to be in the spotlight, go to GWC. That's GwinnettWomen'sChamber.com. Find out more information about what we do, who we doing with, all of that good stuff. I just updated the website. So if you go there and you see 4 members, it's not because we don't have any members. It's because I decided I want to use AI to bring us into the 22nd century. And people like, I don't know how to upload my profile. So
I think I'm up there. I did mine.
You're up there. I sent the email out a bunch of times and people have not done it. I was like, okay, I'm telling y'all to go ahead and send me, just put the profile.
I got things to do, sis. I'm on it.
Yeah. So go to GwinnettWomen'sChamber.com for more information. Also, if you want to attend the Georgia AI Summit and you're a nonprofit, email me, Audrey at GwinnettWomen'sChamber.com, and put nonprofit in the subject line, because there's a discount tickets for nonprofits and our members. So if you are a member of GWC, it comes with benefits and privileges. And if you're a nonprofit, because of our partnership with Gwinnett County Economic Development, we're able to offer discount prices for that. So again, GwinnettWomen'sChamber.com. Let me pop that back up there one more time. One more again, as they say. One more again, and pop it up one more time. Go to the chamber. Go to the website, check out the events there. And then if you are you want to come to the AI Summit, and I will say come. I know some people like, I know how to use ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not just the only AI. And you probably don't even know all the things you can do with. I had a class last night for my sorority sisters, and it was so much fun. But they were like, I didn't know I could do all that stuff. So much you could do. And we're doing some stuff now with the sorority, because we want to launch a venture fund for our sorority so we can put women in business. So
that's right.
We might want to talk about that, Ebony. It might be an offline conversation.
Oh, yeah, because I got more stuff that I haven't spoke on here, and you're going to be like, wait a minute, what? And it's awesome.
Yeah. So listen, check us out, Georgia, GwinnettWomen'sChamber.com. I'll be back tomorrow. I got a guest. We're talking AI. She's from Google. So you might want to tune in. So if you have not subscribed to the channels, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. She's from Google. She's going to be one of our speakers at the Georgia AI Summit, but she's going to be talking about generative AI and what you really need to know and how to really understand what that is. Like, it's a lot of buzzwords, and people like, I know, because I know ChatGPT is so much more.
It's
and she's
bigger
at
than
Google. It's big. It's bigger than that. It is bigger than that. So anyway, subscribe to the channels, follow me, connect with me, however you choose to watch the show. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Same place, same time. Ebony, thank you so much. As always, it's a plum-pleasing pleasure. I stole that from Les Brown. Plum-pleasing pleasure to have you on the show. And anytime you want to come back to talk about the great things you're doing, just hit me up and you got it.
Oh, I know. I love you for that. You be like, what, Ebony? You be like, I got you, boo. I be like, yes, mama. Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate you.
All right, listen, we got to go, guys. We'll be back again. I'll be back tomorrow. Make sure to tune in. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever we are. All right. You guys have a safe day, and a prosperous day, and a productive day. And until next time, my friends, next time, make it a great day. Bye, everybody.
You've been watching or listening to the Good Morning Gwinnett Show, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the show today and share it with your friends by going to www.goodmorninggwinnett.com.